Okay, it's live.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala. This great Millstone, Louisiana Saints, New Orleans camp, coming back at you with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, in this lesson, we're just going to go into the heathen and how they hate us because they ain't us. And a lot of our people don't know that first and foremost, our people don't know that they have a nationality, and also they don't know that they have enemies. And the enemies are these other nations outside of the covenant. And they hate us no matter how much you coon, no matter how much you tap dance, no matter how hard you work for Esau's system, he still hates you because ultimately they don't have the blessing. All right. They don't have the kingdom of heaven. They don't have a savior. They don't even have a real God. All right. The only real God is the God of Israel. He's the only God of the living. All right. These heathen have idols. They have just a bunch of weirdo philosophies, man. And we have the law, statutes, and commandments, which separate us from the heathen. And they're extremely jealous of that, whether they tell you that to your face or not. You know, these Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, in these stations, these gas stations, they hate you. So-called white man, these Moabites, we've been going into Moab lately. So-called Chinese people, they hate us. So we're just gonna get into some scriptures. We start with Psalms.
Uh, it's Psalms 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Right. Why do the heathen rage? All right. And imagine a vain thing. Vain means emptiness or nothing, come to naught. The heathen imagine that they're gonna rule over the Israelites forever. The heathen imagine that America's gonna bounce back. It's gonna stay. The so-called white man's gonna come in stay in power. The heathen imagine that the Moabites are gonna come into power. All right, America's gonna be destroyed. But then China's next. No, those are all vain imaginations of the heathen. You going?
The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Right. The heathen band together and take counsel against the Lord's anointed, which are the Israelites. You can also read that in with Psalms 83. They have one consent against Israel to cut us off from being a nation. Why? Because they hate us and they know that when we're cool with our power. Matter of fact, Kaya, if you can get Judith 5 and 17, they know as long as the Israelites and the God of Israel are in one accord, that's it. It's a wrap for them. You know, when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right now we're under the curses, but when you read the blessings, when we keep the commandments, we're completely blessed beyond anything, man. We have control over the earth. We have, just endless money, resources. That comes from wisdom. That comes from keeping the commandments, and they know that. As it's gonna say, you got it up.
It's the
Uh,
book of Jude, chapter. Oh,
you want Kaya?
Yeah, Kaya, you got the
oh
Judah.
yeah, I thought you wanted Kabar to finish. Yeah, this the book of Jude, chapter 5, verse 17. It says, and while as they sinned, not for their power, not before their power, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
Right, right. It says when they departed from the way which he appointed them, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. It says they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into lands that were not ours. And that's what happened to us when we sin. When we transgress the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're separated from our power. Going back to Isaiah 58, we've separated ourselves from the Father. And the heathen know that. The heathen actually know that when we keep the commandments, we're unstoppable. The nation of Israel is invincible when we're righteous. So they do what? They set up societies to make us wicked. They feed us all sorts of abominations. Yeah,
Hey, that's why they're aware of this great awakening. They see we starting to what? Come back to our power, our name. Well, not starting. The elect have done it. That's why they know that they have a short time. They don't know that they have, because they prideful. Yeah, the clip came out like, uh brothers did video on why should we fear God. You got Edom going in. You know, that's the title of the lesson. Like, why should we fear God? It ain't that they're fear because he is tangible. He just see things. He's not spiritual. So for E to see men rise up on their feet and come out of their graves and start to preach this would let E know ultimately he have a short time. It's the people of the Lord coming back to the Lord, man. All right, that's how he measures his time. Now, yeah, of course, he see the angels and different things, but remember, he is a carnal man, so he see carnality first, and he see the men of the Lord like ourselves start to rise in these different countries, all right, different cities, different places, and he know, okay, they're going back to their power. They about to be risen up again. You got it, bro.
Come on, Bayan, get Revelation 12 and 12, Bayan, to back up what Kaya just said. You got it, Kalai.
Khan, this backing up the brother, it's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted them. And that's exactly what we're doing now, right here on this conference call. I mean, it's Shabbat lesson, and also the men around the earth, around the four corners of the earth. And it says, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. And, with all the different sightings of the chariots, it's striking fear in these men's hearts. It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because who would ever thought these, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, will be on the same side as the almighty power.
Why you think our elder apostles, they approached them and was like, look, how y'all, these men how y'all found this out?
Right.
Because they know, like, once a lie is exposed or undressed, it's like, okay, now, like, how y'all, we spent billions of dollars to hide this information. Once this information came about, all right, which is what it was through the Spirit of the Lord is going to come in the latter times, they knew, like, look, our kingdom is in jeopardy. You got it, bro.
God. Get Gabar, get Revelation 11 to back up Goliath. Bayan, you got that 12?
Yeah, I got the 12. This Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yeah, he knows that he has a short time. Why does he know? The brother just said, because right now those dead bodies are coming out of our graves. We're putting on the double garment of righteousness. We're keeping the commandments, being brotherly. And you see it at camp, when the heathen come up, they try to cause dissension. The first thing they do, oh, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Oh, this guy right here, let me ask him. Why is he not allowed to speak? Or you're the leader. Like, they try to split us up, man. That's their whole MO. We got to keep the nation of Israel as divided as possible, because when they come together, there's nothing they could do. And it's beautiful that, it never works, but, you can see how we were taking down the northern and southern kingdom against each other, Judah against Judah all day, of course, this brother against that brother. When we go at each other, the heathen win. So when we come together, what does that mean? The heathen are going to be underneath our feet, and they know that. They know it in the spirit. Even if they don't know the precepts, they don't know the exact scriptures, they know, all right, if so-called Negroes and Latinos come together, it's a wrap for us. Like, what are we going to do? They procreate way more than us. They work harder than us. They're smarter. They're faster. They're more creative. We have to keep these people destroyed in order to have a kingdom. There's no way we can prosper if these people are in their right mind. If the father's in the household, he's lording over the children, keeping them in order, keeping the daughters. Jake has to be destroyed in order for the heathen to win. You got it, Bayan.
Yeah, if I can add to what you were just saying, that's something that I learned, with the Roman centurions. They military tactic is 3v1, 3 versus 1. If they was to battle anything, or if they was to attack anybody, they want to be 3 versus 1. No such thing as an even battle to them. They never want to fight anybody evened up. It always has to be 3 versus 1. They need to have 2 more, you know what I'm saying? They need to have 2 or more people inside of any type of attack that they're doing. They'll never fight you fair, and that's part of this the military tactics that they have now in Babylon right now.
God.
which is divide and conquer,
Yeah.
right? That's a method, right? For like long as we divide, because it's strength in numbers. So the more we break the numbers down, the weaker things will be, right? Like if we separate the number in parts or divide or force or pull apart, it's easier to conquer any type of territory. Anything we more, hey, that's just it's simple mathematics. It's a math at the end of the day. Like you said, if I have more than you, I can at the end I can win. You know, that's just like gambling. If more likely than none, if the person who on fire have a little bit money, that's why the casino never lose. The casino got more money than everybody. You know, nobody never took that into consideration. Like, okay, I'm going up against the machine. But when you go in the casino never loses, even if they allow multiple people to win, because they have more money than everybody, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, the house always wins.
The house win.
But like the brother said, Rome used that tactic to 3 verse 1. Now, if you have a nation of people that is as the sand of the sea, you know, the nation of Israel is more innumerable than all the other heathen combined, really. When you go into your so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, then you have the Israelites that look like other nations, which are scattered amongst the other nations. We're more populous than every nation. So how do you keep us down? You have to divide us. There's no way to keep Israel on one accord and have a rulership. You got to destroy us, man. Even going back to all of the heathen kingdoms after Egypt, we were divided, the northern and southern kingdom. All right, how did Assyria take down Israel? Because Israel was detached from Judah. How did Babylon take down Judah? Because Judah was detached from Israel. There's no way you're gonna take down the 12 tribes of Israel together, man. That's not happening. So we have to stay in derision. But right now we coming back. Keep going on that Judah. I think it was verse.
It says, but now are they returned 19 to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate.
Keep going.
Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Right. If there be any error in this people, and they sin against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, this shall be their ruin. So this is a heathen saying that, look, we know the kryptonite, so to speak. We have the secret to taking down Israel is sin. We have to get them to sin against their power. Then we can come into power. We can overtake them. They know the truth. They don't know the mysteries. They don't know, certain things, but they know the basics of the scriptures, which our people don't. You got it up.
Hey, if I could say this, just tapping in on what you just said just now in a point brothers made earlier, it take all these nations in this present day to keep us down. That's why in Psalms 83 it says they're confederate against us, under one consent. You got Ishmael with the corner stores, you got Moab with these nail salons and tracks and shit like that. And who you have on top, Esau, Edom, chiefly Amalek. And I just wanted to say that, brother, because they know by themselves they can't do it, especially not in these end times. All right. But you keep going, but I just want to put that out.
That was a beautiful point. And it goes back to Deuteronomy 28. When we get scattered amongst the heathen, they rule over us. They be the head, we be the tail. So it's all scriptural. Everything that's happening, the Most High said it would happen. Why? Because we sin. There's an error against this people. They sin against their power. Let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And that is their ruin. That's the story of Jake, man. Jake go off and Jake suffer the consequences. So what happens in the kingdom of heaven when we're all united, all 12 tribes, and not only are we united under some black power nonsense, we're united under the law, statutes, and commandments and obedience to our power. That means it's game over for the heathen. Keep going in that. You still holding the Psalms 2 out?
I was holding the Revelation 11 for you.
Con. Look at that next. Keep going on that Psalms 2.
Con is Psalms 2 verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision.
Right. They're going to be in derision, which that's starting right now, man. The Lord is pleased watching this ministry. He's pleased watching us, be brotherly, watching us fellowship, watching us come together and put off the old man, put off black culture, and put on our actual heritage as Israelites. The Lord is pleased with that, and these heathen are in derision. They don't know what to do, man. They're bugging out. We can get that Revelation 11. It's going to go right into that.
We want me to start at?
You could start at verse 8 and read on down to 11.
Okay. This is Revelation 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, and that's talking about Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, it's spiritually Egypt because it's the house of bondage, going back to Exodus 20 and 2, and it's spiritually Sodom because, I mean, you look around, it's clearly Sodom. So our dead bodies, basically, we're the Israelites that were dead in sin because of our transgression. All right, we become like the heathen. We've taken on their customs, their dietary law, their weirdo marriage laws that have nothing to do with the scriptures. And we've just been destroyed, man. Going back to Judah, that was our ruin, taking on the ways of the heathen. So was that Jeremiah 10? Learn not the way of the heathen. We just did the exact opposite, man. Let's follow their idols. Let's follow their customs. Let's have their idea of marriage, their idea of a family, which is completely against the scriptures, man. Keep going.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Right, and that goes into 350 years, man. Approximately, we were just completely clueless as to who we were. Our bodies were just in graves here in Babylon. But then this happened.
And that's why the elite bankers, then said a long time ago when I first started off in this thing, and the apostles showed it. It only takes them 10 years to change the whole fashion of society, or to completely change a nation. And I got a scripture here to back it up. It goes back into the Maccabees, and what they do, they start off with the youth. They start with the babies and the youth, and they change the whole mindset. That's how we bring out a lot time and time again. We have uncles and aunts and parents that back when we was coming up in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, they was against the sodomite activity. They wasn't accepting that shit. Now after so many years, you got brothers, uncles that was hardcore. I'm talking about broad men, barbaric men. Now they accept the shit. To each his own. Hey man, leave that sodomite alone. Yeah, speak up for the shit. It's off, man. But this is our second Maccabees 9. It says, besides this, he promised to assist in 150 more, if he might have license to set up him a place for exercise. And this is the point right here. And for the training up of the youth in the fashion of the heathen. All right. And to write them in Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus. But the point is, they trained up the youth in the fashion of the heathen, man. What Jeremiah 10 and 1 say? Learn not the way of the heathen, man. This is going to change you. It's going to alter you into acting like them. If they're into sodomite activity, you're going to be into sodomite activity. If they're into, bestiality, the dress. We see the weirdest fucking clothes and shit when we go out. Jake is just, into this shit, man. The women, the eyebrows, the colored hair, you got black women that's already have a nice figure. They go and get hydrogel asses now, man. Titties, everything is fake. Everything is fraud, man. What you about to say?
Yeah, if you look at the youth, you could look at the way of the world, or which the direction is the world is in. Because the old, like you say, the old people have laid down. So if you won't know what the world is doing, look at the youth, which is considered to be the strength of the people. Because the old heads of the old age have failed. They don't have wisdom. They don't have knowledge. They don't have leadership. The elders of the gates, they languish. So now, if you won't know what's going on in the world, look at the youth of the people that's in youth. And that's what's going to tell you what era in the world we're in. You got it, bro. No, that's
people that you can't talk about are the people who run the world.
Yeah.
And that's the 1948ers and the Sodomites, man. You can't.
That's right.
Let's let you know who's ruling the world, man.
And Sodom, and what's in fashion? The LGBTQXYXZ RA, all that's in fashion. And who they giving it to? Who they putting it on? The youth. And what the old people gonna do? Children are our oppressors, and women rule over. So even at the end of the day, the children, which are all right. Even the older people are children. So they go into the youth. If we get the youth, we got the world. All right, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, and they really go after the women, because the women
but the women are children
in the mind. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got it, bro.
Well, I forget the name of the story, but we read this a while ago. It was about the Edomite who basically he broke down that concept of that it starts with the mother, and when it goes to the mother teaches the son, and so on and so forth.
That's why their whole agenda is to get the father out the home, man. Because then the woman's are spoiled and the children are spoiled. Matter of fact, Bayan, get a Sirach 30:3.
Yeah, he's the weaker vessel. That's why she was attacked in the garden, man. In the times of war. Because Satan, or this so-called white man, knows that the woman is the weaker vessel. All right, she has to have somebody lead her. All right, without a woman having a head, she's openly exposed to anything. She accept anything. Man.
She has.
Which is easy. You can only trick a child. You can only trick a child. Like he can't come to us. We having wisdom in not. He can't trick us. It would have said we're not ignorant of Satan devices. Right. Like he can't trick men. It's hard to trick men. That's why he went to Eve. He like, look, I can't get at him. All right, but if I get Eve could get at him. You got it, bro.
And one thing I wanted to say too, you look at more of these so-called injustice shootings, whether it be of police, whether it be just from everyday common Edomites, who the main ones protesting? Women. The men are not there. You might see some fat greasy nigga, but he got drugged there, But mostly it shows you who are of the house of Israel from top to bottom, who's ruling. The women are in power, and that's been set up since the time of slavery. The women have been sold you out, man. That's why the scripture says in the Apocrypha, how happened it that women you can't see what happened unto us. I might have to get it real fast.
Yeah, the women.
They've been sold the men out a long time ago.
God, it says Adam wasn't deceived, but Eve was. When it goes something like that, I think
Eve being in the transgression.
Yeah, Eve was being in but Adam wasn't deceived. All right, like Adam just fell by the wayside, but he wasn't deceived ultimately, which is a key point. Well, go ahead, you got it.
It was the Willie Lynch.
The whole gender role reversal, gender madness.
Yeah,
because once you get the woman's going to influence the man and the children. So it's all about attacking her head on. And this is why the heathen especially do that to Jake. Read that Sirach.
Oh, you said 30:3.
Gone 3 and 4.
This is Sirach 30:3. It says, "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him."
Right. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Why? Because a man's going to teach his son who his enemy is. A man's going to teach his son how to conquer his enemy. A man's going to teach his son the ways of righteousness. As it tells you in Proverbs, you train up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets older, he won't depart. Esau knows that. So the first thing we have to do is get the man out of the house so we could train the child. We could have public school. We could teach him, all sorts of perverse sexual acts in elementary school. We could teach the children whatever. We get the mom out the house, have her working all day, have her, come home tired. The kids, they're being raised by television and the public school system. So your father, actual man, like we say all the time, like back in the 80s, Jake had the white beater, the herringbone, just that look like don't fuck with me. Like that was just a natural state for Jake. And just 20 years later, 30 years later, you just got a bunch of just soft, just they're made.
Nothing like this. The mannerism, like the energy, the spirit of the earth, bro.
Yeah.
It's children. It says, "Woe to thy land when thy king is a child," man.
Yeah.
This is the land gonna be destroyed. Like he is a child, so he just running around doing childish shit on the earth, bro. Just look around the earth. Look at the people, right? It's really the mass of the people is the youth. These little mistress monsters, these children, and these women, because the women is children. All right, that's just the story of it all, man. And the men, they don't understand judgment, so hey, they just really ain't even in the picture. You got to do, bro.
Yeah,
I got a precept for you.
Women. Most of the so-called men have been raised by women. Our generation, like at this point,
but it's faggots.
Yeah.
That's why allowing their sons to be fat, to be whatever, man. You
Rainbow.
Rainbow, man.
Yeah, keep going on that Sirach, and we're gonna get yours, Goliath.
The Sirach 30 and 4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
Right. When you train up your son to be exactly like you, when you pass, he has your name, he has your likeness, he has your belief system, and he's willing to stand up for your beliefs. So it's like even though you back with the father, you're still on earth, and then you come back, in the third and fourth generation. And the heathen know that too. The heathen understand reincarnation. That's why they're very particular about who they marry and how their wealth is passed down, because they know they're going to come back and reap all of that. But then they tell our people YOLO, or you only got one life to live. You got to reincarnation ain't biblical. Like our people are bugged out, but the elites, especially Amalek, they know exactly how that process works. And we used to know how it worked, back when, our fathers were in their right mind and they were in the home. But you can forget about that today. You got it, Goliath.
Hey, if I could say this, when you watch all these older movies, like let's say a lot of these Moabite movies or Ammonite movies, when they go in to raid a village, they kill the king and they go after his son. They try not to ever leave a son alive, because what? He left himself, he left another one of himself, or however the scripture the brother just went.
Yeah, read verse 6 real quick to back up the brother.
Read it for me.
Sirach 30 and 6.
This is Sirach 30 and 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
Right, he left behind him an avenger against his enemies. That's why you gotta get the son,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and most of the time, the son does what? Come back and grows up, all right, and avenges his father. And rightfully so, man. But brothers had Kaya, you made a point earlier. You said, hey, however the king is, that's how the people are. I just wanted to bring this out and put it on wax. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So we got the basis of all men, the sodomite of all sodomites, ruling the earth right now. So it's trying to see the best word for it. It's I ain't gonna say natural for the people to follow, but hey, you see how it is, man.
Yeah, monkeys do, man.
Yeah.
And that's why hate at an all-time high, adultery at an all-time high, homosexuality is at an all-time high, murder is at an all-time high, lying and deception is at an all-time high, swinging, is at an all-time high. All right, you can't. There's no way you could be living in this world, bro, and you can't see what's going on, man. All right, like it's blatantly obvious to the naked eye, man. All right, it's blatantly obvious. You know that's why hate is at an all-time high, because the most hated enemy of the Most High is in control.
Yeah.
All right, it's this. This is simple. All right, when you go to that's the prayer as arise that say that. All right, the most hateful or the Most High, the enemies are the most hateful, the Most High. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, they're haters of Yahweh, man.
Yeah,
You have heathen that hate us.
they hate us.
Yeah. So if you hate the Most High, you're gonna hate his children. You're gonna hate his sons.
That's right.
This man is absolute devil, because you had heathen like the Persians. They let us build the temple. They didn't blaspheme. Nebuchadnezzar, even at one point, he was like, man, that's the God of Israel, man.
They, you know why too, though, man? Makes sense. If you're the king of the earth, I mean, really, you ain't gotta hate us, right? You could let us be in our land, and you know what I'm saying? Like, do you really have to oppress us like that? Do you really? That's why the Lord say, I was just but a little displeased with them.
Right.
But y'all forward their affliction, man. All right, y'all got over hatred for them, man. Which the Lord put in their heart. He set it up that way, right? Because why? We was going off. This second Esdras 10. You finish your precept?
Con. You got it.
This second Esdras 10, verse 21. You got Amawad. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken down, our temple destroyed, our psaltery is laid on the ground, our song is put to silence, our rejoicing is at an end, the light of our candlestick is put out, the ark of our covenant is spoiled, our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame, our priests are burnt, our Levites are going into captivity, our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed, our young men are bought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. And which is greatest of all, the seal of Zion had now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us.
God, that's basically through. Being completely through. You don't have a priesthood. You don't have a family structure. You don't have anything to keep order in a nation. We just totally through. And that's the state we're in right now. But we, as the brother's going to keep going to Revelation 11, that's all being reversed right now. It starts with this word. It starts with Yahushua being glorified on the earth, and the remnant taking heed to that. Because prior to the truth, you didn't even know that we're a priesthood. I never heard that in my life, that I was a priest. I always thought a priest was like a pedophile weirdo that would just, touch kids. I didn't know, okay, the Israelite man is a priest and a king. We're royal. Like, that's not even a thought that enters Jake's mind, man. We just totally destroyed.
I got one to back that up, that hateful enemy. But go ahead, Yakana. I got one that I'm gonna bring that prayer as a ride out to go with just what I said. You got it.
I wanted to get this oldie but goodie, just the point right here. Psalms 83:1. It says, "Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies have made a tumult; they that hate thee have lifted up the head." All right, and it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thee, against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance." But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And straight off the rip, it tell you who it is. It says, Tabernacle of Edom.
So far away, man.
Yeah. It says in the Ishmaelites, in the Moabites, in the Hagarenes, Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Yeah.
All
heathen nations.
God. But it says they that have lifted up the head.
Let me get this off. You finished, Yakana?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Yeah, I just want to double down on that. Basically what we were saying, that we was completely just done away with. But at the end of all of that, it says that we was delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Now, the reason we was delivered into the hands of them that hate us was done in all righteousness. You see? Now, one would say, damn, we in the hands of the people that hate us. How was that righteous? Because again, we what? We cleaved to the heathens. We learned their ways. We dealt with their women, right? So it's still a standard which we got to be held responsible for. Our accountability was thrown to the side. All right, we care about lust, the things that caused us to err from our power, and we loved it, man. All right, and still to this day, our people is on that time. All right, and that's why still the same judgments of old is happening to us today. And that's how you could know and mark we the people. Because we doing the same thing we was doing in Genesis 6. We was marrying, giving into marriage with the, you know, the heathens, you know, learning their ways, right? And that's what Jake doing today. That's why Jake a sodomite, because they learned the way of what? Eve. Ultimately, the Egyptians were sodomites, all right? But Eve took it to another level. But this the prayer Azariah 1. I'm gonna start at 4. You got Amawai, for thou art righteous and all the things. Marie 3. Blessed art thou, O Lord, thou power Yahweh of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore. For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us, whether it be blessings, curses, right? Poverty, oppression, love, loyalty, the angels giving us our names, whatever it was that the Lord done to us, he was righteous in it. That's what you got to understand too. True are all thy works, thy ways are right, and all thy judgments truth. And all the things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment. For according to truth and judgment, didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sins. For we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from thee. In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore, all that thou hast brought upon us and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. It's the point. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
I got two for you. I'm a white.
Okay. And Goliath, get a 2 Maccabees 7:32 to back that up. You got
And
it.
now we cannot open our mouths. We are become ashamed and a reproach to thy servants and to them that worship thee, man. You got it.
And this is the
Can't
only
even
truth.
open our mouths. You got it, bro.
This is the only truth that explains why we're in the condition that we're in, why the transatlantic slave trade happened, why, you know, the worst captivity, the worst atrocities and injustices to ever happen to a group of people. Why did that happen? Because we sinned against our power, man. That's the only truth that explains that. You ask these black power niggas, Christians, Muslims, they don't have an explanation. How did the world get this bad? Like, and why did the heathen hate us so much? What did we do to them? Like, why is there so much hatred against the so-called black man just out of nowhere? Because of the scriptures, man. It's all broken down. You got it, Yakina.
Okay, this is I'm gonna get straight to the points instead of reading the whole thing. I'm gonna jump around. This is Psalms 106, and I'm gonna start at 34. It says, "They have destroyed." My bad. They did not destroy the heathens according to whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their ways. And I'm gonna jump down to 41, and it says, "And gave." I'm gonna start at 40. It says, "Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, and so much that he abhorred his own inheritance, and have gave them into the hands of the heathen, and they did hate them." My bad. And they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought unto subjection under their hands. And many times did he deliver them, But they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquities. Nevertheless, he regarded their afflictions when he heard their cry, and he remembered for them, it said, and he remembered for them his covenant, and repented according to his multitude of his mercies. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. Save us, O Lord, our power, and gather us from among the heathen to give thanks unto thy holy name and to triumph in thy praise. There you go.
Okay. And that's really the story of the Bible. All right, Jake would go off, get punished. The Most High would send us to our enemies. It says those that hate us. All right, we were oppressed by people that hate us, and then we're going to be delivered because the Lord loves us. That's the narrative of the Holy Scriptures. It's not a black power book. It's not what this world calls religion. It's not about that. It's about the relationship that the Most High has with his sons, which disobeyed him, and he punished us. He put us on punishment for going off. But those of us that repent sincerely, we're going to be forgiven because of the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You got it, Goliath.
You wanted to say something, Yaganah?
No,
I thought I heard something.
No, that was me, but you could go, bro.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You got it.
No, I just wanted to, Baba Kashab, I'm looking through the Willie Lynch letter, and if could I read the process of what it says in here, breaking a nigga of what we went through.
That's because that's hatred. That's an example of them hating us.
Yeah, Baba Shah, can I read it?
Okay.
Khan, it says, completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort. Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. Train the female horse whereby she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. When it comes to break the uncivilized nigger, use the same process, but vary in degree, and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most restless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggas, the female, the nigger infant, tar and feather him, tie each leg to a different horse in opposite directions, set him fire and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining niggas. The next step is to take a bullwhip and to beat the remaining nigger male to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill him, but put the fear of God in him, for he can be useful for future breeding. And this is the last paragraph. Then take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desire willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any signs of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract the last bit of bitch out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to the labor when they become of age.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Jake, man. That's Esau's his playbook, so to speak. Which they say Willie Lynch never really existed, but the letter is still true. It doesn't matter. You could read it in Deuteronomy 28. That's what happened, man.
The Willie Lynch letter and making of a slave.
Yeah. And this happened in America. This happened in Jamaica, Brazil. The whole Western Hemisphere was just hell for Jake. And so these devils actually believed in their mind that, okay, if we keep destroying these people, it's going to take a miracle for them to stand back on their feet. And that's exactly what happened. Matter of fact, read that Revelation real quick. I'm going to get yours, Kalai.
Come
on. Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these two prophets torment them that dwell on the earth.
And that's exactly what happened, man. These heathens sent gifts to one another. We were the gifts. Okay, the Israelites, we're enslaving us. They sent gifts to one another. They would lynch us on postcards and then send the postcards to one another. They would break our families up, take your daughter over here, take your son to this plantation. That's what they did. And this is what's happening right now. Keep going.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered unto them, and stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right. Great fear fell upon them which saw them. These people that see the Israelites rising back up, great fear is falling upon them. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, they're amazed with the strangers of our salvation. They're amazed that, these so-called Negroes know who they are. They're amazed that so-called Negroes and Latinos are on one accord. They're standing up on, we're standing up on our feet, and they're in great fear, man. There's no way America's going to continue with the Israelite man in his right mind. The only thing that could come is that judgment, that great sword, because he knows that he has a short time to rule. He's going to come with every trick in the book. He's going to slander us, propaganda, false flag, you name it. Esau's going to pull every trick out the book, because there's no possible way Israel's going to rise up and then Babylon's just going to continue. It don't work like that. But you had the Maccabees to back up what Kaya said.
Khan, this is Second Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 32. It says, "For we suffer because of our sins."
Right.
And though, go ahead.
Yeah, we suffer because of our sins. What is sin? Transgression of the law. All right, 1 John 3 and 4. So that's the reason we're in this condition. That's the reason our families were broken up and we were sent to enemies that hate us. Because the Most High was like, look, I'm angry with my people, but it's temporary. Keep going.
It says, verse 33, "And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants."
Right. God, Yahweh Shai, and the elect, the 144,000, we're going to be at one. And that started with this word. It's gathering the elect from the four winds and has us joined in one mind and one judgment. And very soon, when Yahweh Shai comes back, we're going to physically reign over the heathen that hate us. You want to say something, Gabar?
No, I mean it kind of passed, bro.
Hey, I got a perfect precept for you to go with that too, brother. This is Baruch, the 4th chapter, in verse 23. It says, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but Yahweh will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from your power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come unto you, that has come upon you from Yahweh, for thine enemy had persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh," which we doing now. It says, "For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more."
You speak on it up.
Hey, we were sent pretty much into captivity as chastening, right, to get us right, to provoke us to come back to the Lord, like it said in verse 28, and seek him 10 times greater, and all these other nations, they watched us, and brothers brought out the scripture in Revelation earlier. They suffered us not to be put in our grave, right? They sat there, they watched us, they didn't tell us who we were, right? They didn't tell us, "Hey, y'all, Israel, the chosen people of the Lord, the rightful rulers of the earth." So they're gonna have to see our glory on the opposite side, all right, on the enemy side, okay? Because they could have been on the latter end of the of the destruction, but they chose to be against us. But
Yeah, they're just wicked.
yeah, they
And they
doing
hate
their
us.
job.
At the end of the day. They hate us. Jake doesn't understand that. Jake, you have an enemy that hates your guts. Jake has this. When Jake comes up, the first thing they want to do is save the heathen. The heathen don't want to save you. They don't have any thought in their mind like, man, what about these Negroes, man? Look what we done to them the past 400 years. We need to make that right. That thought doesn't cross their mind. They hate you. Jake think everybody's like them. Jake has this "we are the world, let's all come together" spirit. Esau don't feel that way, man. Ishmael don't feel that way. When you niggas become Muslim, Ishmael doesn't see you as his brother. We're all Muslim. He's like, man, you're a Muslim, cool, but stay away from my daughter. He hates you, man. Esau hates you. Moab especially hates you. It is what it is. Why? Because they're heathen. They're supposed to hate you. They're beneath us. Matter of fact, Gabar, get 2nd Ezra 6:54 and read on down.
I'm sitting on it.
Oh, come, you got it.
This is 2nd Ezra 6:54. It says, "And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes."
Right. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai made the world for the Israelites. All right. The Israelite man specifically. And as for the other people, which also come from Adam, keep going.
It says, "As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel."
Right. That's quoting Isaiah the 40th chapter, which not only says that they're nothing, but says they're less than nothing. They're negative. They have a negative value. A heathen is like a drop that falls from a bucket of water, man. That's how the Most High feels about the heathen. And they know that. They're like, man, look at these Israelites, man. Look at LeBron James. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at these giant, athletic, charismatic people. We're nothing like them. The heathen are just like, we say it all the time. They're just on a conveyor belt. Like, here's Moab 1, Moab 2, Moab 3. It's just like they have no personality. Nothing makes them special. You can't name one famous Ishmaelite on the earth right now that has any kind of influence. Like, name a cool Ishmaelite. Like,
Probably Jake. He probably
if you could think one, it's a Jake.
Yeah.
Even what's his name, Hustle Man, Khaled. That's a Jake.
That's a Jake. He a Jake, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Ain't no cool Ishmaelites. Ain't no cool Moabites. You got people talking about Bruce Lee as a Moabite. Are you out of your mind? You need to meet an actual Moabite. When you listen, if you're around any type of Moabite, you'll be like, man, these are heathen. You could clearly see like the Lord's not dealing with Moab at all. Like they don't even have. I mean, they have souls, but not like they're like little robots, man. They're heathen.
Got a little precept for you real fast to prove that. Clarify what the Lord said. This is Revelations 11:18. And the nations were angry. Our wrath is come, that the time of the dead they should be judged, and that those should give warning to the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth. But you know the point. Now you can break it down.
God, yeah. It says the nations were angry. Why are they angry? Because all of the madness that Esau's told, and ultimately that they oppressed the Israelites. They're gonna have to pay for that, man. You're gonna have to pay for building a kingdom off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Lord's chosen people. And his wrath is gonna be upon you. And they're gonna be mad at Esau. Like, man, you told us these were niggas. You told us that democracy was the way, the fiat currency, all of that's gonna be completely done away with.
Now I thought you was gonna get that point when it says that in the time of the dead that they may be judged. The time of the dead is those other nations, and the Lord likened them to being dead. They have no soul. No, there's nothing influential. Influence, they don't influence a goddamn thing, man. You look at some of them damn East Indians. They got dark, faded black skin, black ass eyes, man, and they wear the whole Maury Jerry Springer get up on, man, and nothing great about them. Them Hamites, them snaking ass Hamites, they have 40 different clothes on. They got a jersey on with big ass, what they call them, fat.
Yeah.
Right?
They got the jersey and church shoes on, man.
Yeah, church shoes in a soccer jersey, man.
Man, come on.
And ain't nothing great about them though. In Moab, let's not get on Moab. And we've been getting on Moab for some reason the whole week, man.
Yeah, the Lord hate Moab, man.
For real.
Them biggest glasses on you can find, and they just dead. It's nothing about them, man. They women just straight up and down. They look like a damn toothpick, man.
Trash.
Second about a goddamn Moabite, Ammonite. You know?
A wall.
Yeah. They're not sexy about them, and if they are sexy and have some type of sex appeal, most likely they're a Jake. They're some type of form of Jake woman, man. Let's just tell it like it is. Go ahead, Doc.
You gonna say something, Kaya?
Yeah, that if the Lord go as much as saying that he kept a cluster of his own people and then made the rest in vain of his own people on this side, how much more the other nations? Do he really need to say, like, because they was made for nothing. Though yet they was made to serve, which is something. What they get out of serving is nothing. Really, that's their glory, to be made to do nothing. Or something, which is slavery, but it's nothing. Like who? Like at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, man, how did slavery pay me off? It can't pay you off, man. All right, it can't benefit you. Like it's like you was made for something, but that something was nothing. Like it's just the Lord played you, man. All right, you was made in vain. You empty. You soulless. All right, unless you got the soul or the spirit of the Most High on you, you vain. You vanity. All right, period.
Yeah. When you look at how hard the Israelites work, we really don't need slaves. We're gonna have slaves in the kingdom, but we don't need you to physically build anything for us. We're gonna have spiritual power. We're gonna have the mightiest men, the
We
best.
can do it.
We can do it. You're just vanity. Like the Lord just made you like, look, I have a royal people, so I need to have an unroyal people.
That's it.
I have vessels of honor, so I need to have vessels of destruction. That's it. You're just made to glorify us.
Well, Edris said it.
We're gonna need service. We're gonna need that whole vibration of servitude and having dominion, being monarchs, man. Root shit. You know, we're gonna want to bust some shit in the head with that acceptance. We're gonna kill him. We're gonna want to do that, man. We're gonna do what you done 2,000 times over, man. It's about the whole presentation of the thing, man. That's what we want, man. Like I said, we wanna do this. Don't come back in the style. Hey, grapes, motherfucker, feed us grapes. You know, remember that old shit with the big ass
the fans, yeah.
The big plant fan. We gonna want that shit coming back in style, man. And Jake gonna sit up there with all type of rubies and all type of precious, stones on, and have, the finest of everything, man. We're gonna have the best of the best women, the best of everything, man. And we're gonna have the best slaves, the best crop of slaves, man. All right? You big saddlebag, big Edomite women, you're gonna be in the field, man. You're gonna be in the breeding farms and shit. All right. Yeah. This is what it is, man. You done it to us, so it gotta be done to you. Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, that's why Edris said right here, 2nd Edris 7:25, where the angel told Edris, and therefore Edris, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things, man. That's it. All right, that's it. You got a dark ending, a burnt ending. In the other nations, you just got a ending of slavery. You gonna slave for eternity, man. Get ready. All right. Now that's one would say, oh, that's harsh, but they gonna love it. They gonna have nothing and be happy, man. All right, straight up, man. Y'all are empty for the empty or empty things. Did not each other's on this side. Y'all are gonna have nothing and y'all gonna be happy. He said that over here, man.
He said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers, man. They don't want you to think. They can sleep while you work all the damn day. And
for real.
Be highly stressed out, all right, have all type of health problems and fat, lazy, That's all predicated on the system of the program that Esau pushes, man. All right, all you do, you see fat black women, Latino, Native Americans, Edomite, everybody sit down and watch. They watch Housewives of Atlanta, the bullshit all day, and just get fed bullshit, eating this fucking GMO, and ready, willing and ready to die any day now, man. And you young Israelite men, all you do, you wake up to die. You niggas sit on them porches, you niggas sit on the avenue, you're living to die. That's all you doing. You waiting for some nigga to come through with some rusty ass pistol and blow you away. You know, getting in a car accident, overdose. That's another thing happening to you niggas. You niggas overdosing at an all-time high on the Fetty Wap. You know, you overdosing. All right, you have became debt. You just like the white man. You have become debt. Wherever a Negro is, sometimes debt is around, man. That's why I tell brothers, they the fuck around them niggas, man. Niggas dangerous, boy. Them Latinos, you niggas dangerous too. But really, the house of Judah, them niggas is dangerous, man. You be in a whole line getting a sandwich, on your break at work, and there's a whole shootout inside the gas station, man. Nigga, you remember the video? Nigga pistol whipped the nigga on the way out after he shoot him, man. You remember that?
I remember that.
Shit crazy.
Yeah, big boy ran it. Man.
Sonic rings out his ass, man.
The Lord did that to him, though. The Lord had that spirit on that killed that nigga and hit him in the face with that bitch after that. For real.
Man, they become the harvesters of death. These niggas is dangerous, man. They learn from the best. Esau, bro. Niggas is dangerous.
Surpass the deeds of the wicked.
Men are dangerous. They are poison. All right, you watch them black women and they got them big eyelashes and the color hair. They like that snake, that black, red, and yellow snake, man. They giving you the
coral snake.
I would kill you. I would kill you. Didn't what they say about the species? The brighter they are, the more fluorescent colors and shit. They dangerous, man. All right, niggas too. I'm just I'm just giving you to you in the nicest way. I can go deeper, but go ahead, brother. We had an hour and two.
Okay, you got to go more.
I would say, like that man, Charleston White. That man say, hey, black culture is white because all it represents is death.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Which you got that from us, but that's neither here nor there. Kalai, you got the Wisdom of Solomon. We'll close on that.
Holding it right now, baby. Start at 12, huh?
Yep.
Con, this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 12, it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doing. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy the transgressions of our education.
Right, and this chapter goes into the innermost thoughts of the wicked, starting with Amalek, all right, the counterfeit Jew, and really the so-called white man, his inner thought. He's like, man, these Israelites, they're not for our turn. They're clean contrary to our doings. They upbraid us with our offending of the law, because he's the man of sin. It tells you in 2 Thessalonians, man, when we upbraid him and expose him for being the man of sin, right after that, it's a wrap. The Lord's going to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. Keep going.
Con, this is verse 13. It says, he professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he calleth himself the children. He calleth himself the child of the Lord.
All right, the Israelites, the sons of the Most High, which we do. Keep going.
He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father.
And we do. We make a boast that Yahweh is our father. And they hate us for that, because they know that they're bastards. The Most High doesn't claim them. The brother go into it all the time. The Most High say, I'm your maker. I'm your king. Even though he made everybody else, he only put his name on us. He's
created Israel.
Yeah.
I created Israel. I
created
created y'all and don't even say I created y'all. Like I
know them other man.
yeah.
He's a deadbeat dad to 17 nations, man. He only claims Israel. That's the only people on the Lord's income tax.
And he even went into a heavier in Isaiah 31. He said, at the same time, will I love all the families of Israel. It's like he doubled down on when he like if you only have I've known. He came back in Isaiah 31 and said, and at the same time, will I only love the families of Israel? It's like he said, when he loved, like I doubled down, but still ain't include nothing else, man.
Okay.
Come on, man. Stop.
Hey, just any creator, any type of artist that paints, draws, make music. What happens with the artist or the creator that when it's a finishing product, what they do? They put their John Hancock on it. They put a name. They put a tag in the beginning of the song, Metro Boomin. You know, that's an actual producer, man. He puts his name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's not a finishing product, you don't like it. You might ball it up. You might not finish it. You don't put your name on that shit. It just lingers. It just sits there. Cause you're not happy with it. You don't give a damn about it. But the one that Magnus
Opus.
Crowning achievement of your creation, you stamp your name on it, man. That's mine. I did that. Especially when you put it in the museum, when you present it to people, you are happy about it. That's how the Lord feels about it. He's happy, and especially in the Lord, because we're getting it together, man. We coming back to him. So you best believe he didn't stamp his name on us, because we're calling on that name. All right. That's it.
This that precept that I just said. This Jeremiah 31:1. It wasn't Isaiah 31:1. It's in Jeremiah. It says, at the same time, said Yahweh, that's in caps, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Well, wait a minute. I thought he was the God of everybody. Why would he put emphasis like at the same time will I be the God of all the families of Israel?
That's racist.
That's racist, man.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
he's with his people.
Yeah, he could have said all the families of the earth. He didn't say that.
Of the earth. Then he said at the same time, he said it. You got it. It's like
what they say. They say, what Bible you read? That's
what
racist.
What Bible?
The racist Bible.
The holy one. The holy one.
The real Bible. You feel me?
The holy Bible.
Holy Lord, I'm the creator of Israel, your king. I'm the king of the earth, and put emphasis that I'm your king. Like, yeah, get the fuck, man.
Yeah. And that's why the heathen imagine the vain thing. That's why they hate us, because we're those dudes. We're Israelites, man. We're the only people that have a real God, and very soon that God is going to show that he hates the heathen. Right now, we're just saying it. We're reading the prophecies. We're reading the scriptures. Real soon, the heathen are going to know, okay, yeah, the God of Israel does not love us. They're not going to be arguing John 3:16 in the kingdom. They're just going to have whips and lashes, man. So
everybody hates the best. Everybody hate the best. Like, you got to hate on the best. You just won't see them lose. Yeah. Bro, Floyd Mayweather he's a fan favorite, but everybody won't see the man lose because he didn't lose.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck it, like that's just have hate for him. Like, like this, we just won't see him lose.
Yeah,
like we just won't see the nigga lose once.
Yeah, I remember Floyd said something back then when he was still fighting. He said, man, it's the first time in history have I ever seen, because he's speaking on back in the day, you had American fighters, even though they was white or black, America will support their American fighters, not the other countries. He said it ain't got so bad with me to where they're willing to see Pacquiao is from another country beat me in America, man. Even what his name, Dante Wilder, what his name, Wilder said the same shit. That's how bad it got, They're just hungry for you to lose, man. Just like the nations, and that's the one thing about us, man. The nation, they know we gonna win, so they just want to see us down. That's why they do everything to keep us down from the Most High, man. It's not gonna help.
Yeah. So that's all I had, brothers. Anything else? Right. With that, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. This is why the heathen hate us. because we're the chosen people. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahusha Ba'Shem Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.